Good morning. Welcome to the Parenting Versus podcast. Marble edition.
Coronavirus 2020 edition.
COVID-19
Edition.
Do you know what COVID-19 means?
I don't.
It's the 19 means the year. That's what I know. And I think is Corona.
Oh, like the
virus.
origination year?
Yeah, it's Coronavirus 2019.
So if it's stored in a big, chamber somewhere in the future, it'll be labeled that way,
right.
So we know what
because
year it's from.
a specific virus has a specific genetic makeup.
Gross.
So
clearly, Lorenzo and I are... I feel like we come from the school of thought of yes, you should be careful. You should be respectful. Here comes a train.
There's
Thanks,
a train.
Amtrak. And they just turn on the music, too. We're at Marble Brewing,
yes.
Sitting on the rooftop. It's actually a very beautiful day. It's warm, but slightly overcast.
Yeah, I like the cloudiness.
So it's kind of cool. But we're trying to do our best to be good people and support local businesses because it is hard with this mass paranoia. And I'm not saying it's not for nothing. I think you need to be smart and be safe, but I also think that people need to just be smart about how they live their lives. Wash your hands. Don't go into giant crowds at Walmart or Target or Costco and raid the place for toilet paper.
Right.
I think you can have a strategy while still maintaining some sanity. This coming from the person who watched, what was that movie we watched last night?
Contagion?
Contagion last night. But yeah, so we're here, and I figure right now is the cleanest this place is going to be all day. They just opened. So I'll take it. And
It's
also, you can't stop the world because people are getting sick. You can contain things, and you can do your best to be a good human. But I can't live in fear. That's just not a thing for me.
Right.
So.
But you have to be cautious. You have to be aware of what your actions do to other people, I guess. What kind of actions, Right.
Yeah. I also pet a goat earlier, but I washed my hands, right after.
Moving on. I also pet a goat.
So we got here, and there was a guy walking down the street, and I thought he had a dog off a leash, and I turned around, and I was like, nope, that's a goat.
That dog has horns.
And I was like, hey, is your goat friendly? And he's like, nah.
He's like, yeah, he seemed very shy.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, the goat's name was Barbie.
What?
He said, come on, Barbie. So yeah, he had a goat named Barbie, and he was walking it in downtown Albuquerque. This doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
Nice.
So yeah, I did that, pet a goat, and then I thought about it after, and I was like, probably shouldn't have pet that goat. But I went in immediately and just washed the crap out of my hands. So
yeah.
So there's that.
I think goats are fine.
As far as we know. I don't want to be the person responsible for spreading it in Albuquerque because I pet a goat.
Patient zero.
Yeah, patient zero of the goat virus.
Patient one. Whatever it is.
So that being said, they canceled school here for the kids for the next 2 weeks to get ahead of the curve. Lorenzo's a teacher, so that's bittersweet, I think.
Well, I'm off for 3 weeks. One of those weeks was planned. It was spring break.
Right.
But 2 of those weeks were unplanned.
I hate that we already ate, by the way, because that smells delicious. Whatever
there's a food truck.
Is.
It's rolling. What is it? Rolling on in. So if you're ever in Albuquerque, come to Marble. Looks like Rolling On In is here on Sundays. I'm not sure if it's every Sunday, but
it smells delicious.
They're here on this Sunday. So yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks off. I think
3 weeks
for me
with our children.
I'm wondering how this is going to go.
Yeah.
3 weeks off anytime would be awesome, right? I don't have to go to work. We could do things and have fun and enjoy each other and all this other stuff. I don't have to make this time up at the end of the summer, which is also kind of nice.
That is nice. We were worried about that. We thought maybe they were going to push the school year
Right.
into June, which would not be great.
But it's a different break. It's a different type of break because the world is in crisis right now. Not just the United States, but the entire world.
We're looking at you, Italy.
Yeah, Italy, Spain, France, they're all on lockdown.
Yeah.
The Pacific Northwest right now is
a
hot spot. New York is a hot spot right now.
Yeah.
People are kind of panicking, right? Shelves are empty,
Yeah.
This is not something that is typical. So
No, I think it's really weird to go to the store and see like empty grocery shelves. Like, no, I mean, I understand some of it, but then some of it I'm like, you know, all the hand sanitizer in the world is not gonna like keep you from catching something if you just come into contact with the wrong person at the wrong time. Like, it seems like a paranoid precaution. And I also feel like it's interesting that in the United States, the first impact we see is always like a consumer-driven impact.
Right.
Like, we're like materialistic enough to where that is where we go first. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, or if it's totally necessary.
Do you mean like how people like automatically go to buying things to make sure that their way of life is still their way of life?
It's preserving for comfort and for like maybe a false peace of mind.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that right
Absolutely.
now.
I'm with you on that.
I am like annoyed that we went to the grocery store just to get groceries and there was like no rice and like...
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is, again, it's a comfort issue for us. Like, there are people in the world every day, aside from coronavirus, that don't have enough food, that don't have clean water, that have diseases they have to worry about.
Right.
And so I just find it very interesting, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So, yeah, we'll see how things go with this coronavirus. Hopefully, people do the right thing and limit contact, and we can get this virus contained.
Oh, did we mention it's our anniversary this week? Happy anniversary. I got you coronavirus.
Yeah, so we are celebrating our 11th year
11 years
of marriage. Kind of crazy to think about 11 years.
I thought you were just silent.
No, I
11 years.
I'm taking it like a second to reflect. Like 11 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that. I mean, before you, I think the longest relationship I was in was like not even a year. A year.
That's terrifying.
A year.
That's scary. Oh, this is so nice. Oh,
So,
yeah. Is this
so
gross?
11
This
years.
might be a little gross.
11 years is a big deal. What's going on? What are you talking about?
I took my shoe off and I put my foot on this metal right here because it's warm, but then I realized, hey, don't do that. Don't be creepy. So I put my shoe back on.
Yeah.
Good story. Yeah, 11 years. So it's weird because we are in our, I don't even want to say mid because I feel like we're pushing late 30s at this point. 36, 37.
Yeah.
And a lot of marriages around this time for people that we know and like the age group we're in, tend to fall apart. And so it is really strange.
Do you think tend to, or we're just noticing some?
I don't know.
Sometimes, like, if it's not going to make it, like, they happen to end at this point.
Right.
And it's sad.
Like this timeline blip. I don't know.
So we're dealing with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of marriages around us that we've noticed, like, people just going their separate ways and stuff. And it's hard to watch that and see your peers going through that when you're...
Well, we've experienced it too.
Right, we have. But we've also, like... And this is kind of just like a side note, like we've been going to some marriage counseling, like we have both put in the effort and the work to try to get it to work, and it's not easy.
Can I say one thing too?
Yeah.
Our podcast is our podcast, and like we, for the longest time, have said like we want to be honest, we want to like let our interactions and flaws be noticed so that people know that they're not alone, because I think today a lot of times like people are isolated in their own struggles, and it's hard to think like, oh, is this just me? Am I the only person that goes through this? Am I the only person that's feeling this with like parenting or like marriage or whatever else? But like that's been our goal of the podcast, is to make people feel like, oh, they're not alone. But I think that sometimes it's gone the opposite direction, and some people have told me like, oh yeah, it feels like there's a lot of tension and I feel kind of awkward about it. Like I've heard that like a couple times. And I'm sorry for that. Like, I don't want to make people feel... I don't want to make people feel...
As an Enneagram Type 9, Lorenzo would like to make peace with you and say he's sorry.
No, like, I don't want to ever make people feel, like, uneasy.
As a 4, I'm like, don't listen to it then if you don't like it.
But
handle it.
For sure, like, there has been a lot of conflict in our lives that has translated onto the podcast or whatever. And that's just the way it is. And, like... We are two different people with two different personalities that are trying to understand each other, that is hard.
And it takes a lot of time, and it does take energy and effort, and I think...
Lots of effort.
Right, lots of effort. I think that that's the thing that people are so used to doing, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I notice so many people, like, when shit gets hard, they're so quick to just give up or walk out, and they're like, well...
That's
and it's like,
easy.
Right, giving up is easy, but it's also like, you know, you're going to carry that conflict with you at some point in your next relationship if you don't get it together now, because part of that conflict is more than likely having to do with you. It's not just your partner.
It's like a selfish thing.
Yeah. And like, you can preserve yourself for a little while, but like, at the end of the day, if you're going to get into another relationship with another person, you're going to have the same shit. So you need to learn how to deal with yourself and deal with relationships and deal with how you are in relationships, because you're both at fault. It's not just one person.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm obviously not speaking from every scenario. There's another train.
Another train. A freight train this time.
Freight train. You know, I can't speak for everybody's situations. Obviously, when people are cheating, that's one thing. If there's, you know, mental health issues, that's another thing. And everything is its own animal. But
even cheating, I guess, is not a death sentence.
No.
I think, like, when I imagine my own marriage, or even if I was in a dating relationship, if somebody were to cheat on me, that would hurt so much, because sex to me is the ultimate the ultimate expression of, like, I'm with you, and I love you because you can have my body. Like,
right.
I am that vulnerable with you, like, that you can have my body. And if you're in a committed relationship with somebody and, like, they tell somebody else that,
right,
that is huge. But we've seen, like, that's not a death sentence for every couple.
Well,
so,
and more often than not too, like, just, and I'm not saying I condone it, but like, cheating and sex in that kind of a relationship, it's not usually about the sex itself. It's usually about something else that's lacking in the relationship, like feeling wanted or feeling needed or feeling understood or feeling like you're not connecting. It's rarely, if ever, about actual sex.
But cheating hurts so much.
Oh, of course.
Still.
I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm just saying that usually it's to cover and deal with something else that's going on. It's not really about the sex. It's about something that's missing in that core relationship. But I mean, we know couples that have had that, and they are together, and they've both put in the work to try to fix it and to try to make it better. And we know people that have had that aren't together. And it's...
Marriage is hard.
Marriage is hard. I mean, yeah, that's really what it boils down to. It's just hard.
I feel like, and I've been really proud of us, because I don't know how honest you want us to get, but...
I love honesty, even if it's ugly, so you can get as honest as you want.
We were at a brink.
You can get down.
We were at a very much, like, life-changing point a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever it was.
It was like 2 months, I think. Anyway.
And honestly, like, our lives and the lives of our kids and everybody else who's in our lives could have gone one way, but it didn't. And I've been working on myself, and I feel I've seen some effort on your side, and we're still not perfect, like, by any means. Like, not even a little bit.
Nope.
But I have seen the level of understanding on both of our ends completely increase. I've seen us being able to, like, try to understand each other a lot more. And because of that, like, if there's any sort of, like, disagreement or conflict that we have, it's a lot more short-lived than it was before.
Yeah, and I think also, like, Lorenzo had started doing some of, like, Enneagram studies, and we talk about that a little bit on this podcast. And again, Sandra, there's a lady named Sandra. She's amazing.
Shout out,
Sandra. Hi. I need to schedule with you, and I am so sorry.
She has a organization or a business, right?
Yes. And I'm going to shout it here in a second, but she basically helps you to figure out with your partner, like, what your Enneagram number is. And once
Sandra deals with Enneagram?
Yes.
Okay.
So you take a quiz, your partner takes a quiz, you find out what Enneagram number you are. Lorenzo's a 9, so he's a peacemaker. I'm a 4, which is the individualist. You can look that up later and figure out what that means. But you can take a generalized Enneagram test online to give you an idea of what your number might be. there's a bunch of studies on how these different personality types deal with conflict, deal with other people, deal with other specific number types, how they process the world, all kinds of things. It's really insightful. And so Lorenzo and I have been studying that based on our numbers, 9 and 4,
right,
to kind of learn about each other, and also approach each other with that in mind. And I think that that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Because I catch myself now being like, oh, like I don't take things as personally as I used to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I used to maybe take things like really personally.
Because you're kind of understanding like some of the things that I do are not because...
You're not trying to like take a jab at me personally. It's the way you're processing the world around you.
And I'm also trying to realize those shortcomings on my end and my tendencies. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I am.
Absolutely. And actually, if you guys, just to get an idea, if you want, you can go to Sandra's Instagram. It's Family Personalities. Or you can check out her website. It's familypersonalities.com. And what she does is she kind of talks about different ideal learning environments for different numbers. She talks about family dynamics within those numbers. Really amazing, really interesting stuff.
She does Myers-Briggs and also Enneagram. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so you can go to familypersonalities.com. You can check it out. You can let her know that we sent you via the podcast. But also, like, you can take a test to figure out what you are and then how that correlates with, like, not just your spouse or your partner, but, like, your family members, your kids.
Yeah. We should definitely shout her out on the Instagram.
For sure.
We'll take a screenshot and shout her out so you guys can see.
Yeah, and we've taken the test, and we need to do the we need to sit down and do the evaluation where she gives us kind of some insight. And again, Sandra, I'm so sorry. I've been so just off the chart, crazy busy, and I'm
a 9.
But yeah. Yes.
So, yeah. So that's one of the things. Like, I don't want to make this an Enneagram podcast, but it is really interesting to me.
But it is.
Well, here's the thing.
And it's
like,
fine.
Like that's our life. Like we are parents. We are married. We're like spouses, and we're living in close quarters with these people, like our family.
Right.
And it's hard to understand somebody who's not you.
Right, or who's not coming from the same place you are in terms of how they process conflict even is so funny because Lorenzo, like, as a 9, he's a peacemaker. Like, he doesn't like conflict. He doesn't want to deal with it. He just wants to keep the peace or make it peaceful if it's not. I'm a 4, so I don't avoid conflict. In fact, a lot of times I instigate it.
Yeah. She looks for it. She likes it.
I like it. No, I mean, I guess I'm confrontational for good or for bad because 4s really value the truth, whether or not it's good or bad. They don't sugarcoat things.
So the truth is more important to you than
somebody's feelings. And so that can be a problem sometimes, like with our marriage and our dynamics.
Right.
So it's always interesting kind of when you see that happen and you're like, oh, that's because I'm coming at it from this angle and like not everybody is like me, so I should tone it down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where we are. We're figuring that thing out, but
and it does take a lot of work.
I'm gonna stretch real quick. I think we'll take a
stretch break,
a stretch pause.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. Okay, we're back.
We are back. So
good.
I was going to say, like, something happened to Lorenzo's knee.
Oh. Yep, I'm an old guy.
No, that's not what happened.
My knee? So I was playing basketball. Like, is that what you're talking about?
I think you need to explain what happened. Like, are you feeling...
That's what I'm saying. I'm an old guy.
You feeling 37 yet? You're going to be 37. You're not there yet. One month.
So I'm trying to be more active and exercising and taking care of myself. I've been running a lot, which has been fun. And one of my friends, he's a teacher at a small school here in town, and he's a PE teacher, so he has access to the gym. So he gets these pickup games going. These basketball pickup games.
Mm-hmm.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Well, we played basketball, and I went up to get a rebound, and I fell. And I didn't fall. I just I jumped, and then I went down, and my knee popped kind of sideways a little bit, and immediately I like fell to the ground, and like I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't put any pressure on it. Put ice on it right away. About 3 or 4 days later, like it felt like I was probably 90%. Like I could walk on it. It was fine. Like my day-to-day stuff was totally cool. I wasn't ready to start running again. So I waited another couple days. And then I went for a run. That was fine. And then I went for a run again. So that was yesterday. So I did a run on Saturday and I did a run on Sunday. Not even that far. It was like 3 miles, my usual. And now today, I'm feeling it.
So he's having like forced social distancing from basketball.
Yeah. But
I'm not laughing at you. It just
no,
sucks.
it's fine.
It's like the timing of all this is just kind of ideal because your games might have been like canceled anyway.
Yeah. But here's how I approach injuries.
Yeah.
I like to feel like they're not a big deal, and I'm gonna heal. Like everything's gonna be okay.
Except for you heard a pop, which makes me really wonder. Like, what
I did,
happened?
and I think I like try to make excuses in my head. Like maybe it was like a joint that kind of went sideways or something. I don't know.
And now he's making excuses about like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go to the doctor because it's going to be crazy. And I'm like, well, it's probably better that you go now before it gets way crazier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
getting old sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Worst.
I agree. Man, is there anything else on your mind?
Kegels.
Huh?
Kegels.
Okay.
Ladies, if you've had kids, you should do them. Don't forget your Kegels.
Do them.
That is all.
Yeah.
No, for our anniversary, let's change the subject.
Okay.
For our anniversary, we were going to go to El Paso and see some friends, which we were excited about.
Now all the shit started to hit the fan, right?
All the shit.
Is that a doomsday prepper term when the shit hits the fan?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like we should watch more of that, or maybe not, because I feel like that might make me really paranoid.
Right.
Or also just make me feel like I need to buy a gun, which I've never felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we were going to go to El Paso, see some friends, and then obviously some things have changed since then. So we are going to Silver City, New Mexico instead.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The land of romance.
So that's
Silver City.
That's a part of the state that I have not been to.
Me either.
I'm excited to check it out. Silver City, if you're not familiar with New Mexico, is in the southern end of the Gila. Here I go, like on my stupid information.
It's not stupid.
Information vomit.
No, the Gila National Forest.
Gila National Forest, which, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the first designated national forests, like the birth of the national forest.
Yeah.
Right.
The birth of the national forest started in the Gila.
National protected lands have not always been a thing. And the United States kind of pioneered like protecting land and protecting wildlife and protecting nature. So national forest is it's protected. Like it's federally owned land. It's land that there's a lot of restrictions on. I think you can get permits to like graze cattle on it and stuff like that, but you can't just build on it. You can't sell it.
Yeah.
It's just to be protected, right?
Well, there's an old ghost town in the Gila called Mogollon, which I really want to check out. Apparently, you have to like find locals and get like actual local directions because it's really weird to get to.
Right.
I'm definitely you better believe I'm gonna go find that place. Like. That's on my list. And then there's hot springs.
There's hot springs.
So we're going to check that out.
We're going to get naked.
Maybe you are. I bought a swimsuit on Poshmark, so we're good here.
Okay, cool. I kind of want to get naked, I'm just saying.
I mean, you can, like, if they allow that.
Sorry for the visual people.
Do they allow that there?
It's a hot spring. You do whatever the hell you want.
Oh. Well, then maybe we should just get naked. Why not? Fuck it. I mean, the world's ending. Let's just get naked.
It's like that ICP song.
Whoa, what?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I'm like, excuse you?
There's probably an ICP song that says that.
The world's ending. Let's just get naked.
Fuck it.
and drink that really nasty stuff you drink.
Orange soda?
Yeah, I don't know. I know way more about this than I should probably, but
yeah.
So we're gonna go do that. We're gonna check it out. It's gonna be fun.
Lindsay's a juggalette.
Nope. Not even a little bit. I actually have a pretty open-minded tolerance for a lot of people, but that's where I draw the line.
See, I was thinking about this as I was running.
That's where I draw the line. Really?
I was thinking about this as I was running. There's a lot of things that not juggalettes, but like.
Oh.
So the thought came into my mind. I like ridiculous pop punk.
Yeah.
That's just one of the things that I like, and sometimes I feel like I shouldn't tell people that.
Lorenzo's deep dark secret is exposed.
But like I like it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And you can kind of compare it to like the craft beer scene, right? Mm-hmm. If you like a Coors Light, like a Coors Light.
You do you, boo.
But there's this like weird judgment that can be passed like from people who like brewery beers or whatever.
How about you just stop trying to classify yourself and you just like what you like and you be yourself.
But that's hard for humans to do. It's hard for humans to do. We are always concerned about what the other thinks about us. When it comes to music, when it comes to like any sort of taste that you like. If you like what you like it, own it.
Buy a goat, walk him down the street if you want to.
And for me, I'm the same way. Like
name it Barbie.
Yeah, it's true. Do it. That guy had no regrets.
No, he loved his goat. Goat life.
The goat life.
He's just living that goat life every day.
That goat life 2020.
Dude, that goat life. Some people say they don't choose the goat life. The goat life chooses them. I agree. That man definitely did not choose it.
When COVID-19 arrives, just walk your goat, bro.
Just walk your goat, man.
Anyways, so own your taste, love them. Like that's what I was thinking. Like I like Jimmy Eat World. You hate Jimmy Eat World.
If Jimmy Eat World is your goat, walk it.
Walk that Jimmy Eat World. Walk Jimmy. And ICP, I was thinking about that. Like ICP, I have a hard time with. Mm-hmm. I don't understand their culture. I don't understand their music. Yeah. It doesn't seem good to me. But it's their art form, and they love it.
Absolutely.
And they find community in that. Like, yeah, maybe I disagree with like if there's any sort of illegal stuff happening, like people getting beat up or whatever. I don't know what happens in the Juggalo community, but.
What are some hard pressing issues in the Juggalo community? I'm curious.
I don't know.
They're like, there's a Faygo shortage. What do we do? We should probably riot. There's not enough tassels to go on everyone's boobs. What do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, shit's getting real all over the world.
But that's their thing, and they love it. That's fine.
Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this, I'm really sorry.
They don't listen.
Oh, that's true. I feel so unsupported as a millennial.
But if they do, hi, Steven Sue. So, yeah.
Dang, that's a hoppy IPA. I can smell it from here.
Did you taste it?
Nah. Ugh, nope. Nope. But yeah, so, I mean, basically, our anniversary is going to be interesting. It's not what we planned, but it'll be an adventure for sure. Mm-hmm. And
especially during this time.
Yeah. And then we might try to go to Carlsbad Caverns if they don't close them.
With the kids.
Yeah, take the kids.
After the fact. Like after we get back.
Yeah.
We'll take the trailer, right?
I mean, the only thing we have at this point is time. So I feel like we should utilize that to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dear. It's that time.
It's that time.
What are you listening to?
Oh, I knew it. Let me pull it up. Hold on. It's that time again. What am I listening to? Ugh, I drank so much. I've been listening to Saint Seneca. It's a band.
Tell me about them.
They're great. That's all I can say.
Like
They're
what?
Great.
Oh, the album cover with the chess pieces?
Yeah.
What kind of music are they?
They're kind of like folky, sort of.
Okay. Kind of melancholy? Melancholy?
Maybe a little. The Wild Reeds, some more folk. Kat Dahlia, I like her a lot. She's kind of hip-hoppy-ish, but also very artistic. I like her.
Oh, is that what you sent me?
Yeah. And then this band called Starcrawler. So they are ridiculous in the best way.
Tell me about them.
The lead singer, her name is Arrow. Her parents are two very famous people. Her mom is a famous photographer who also did a lot of work with Elliott Smith back in the day. Mm-hmm. And her dad is a drummer. He
Elliott Smith for me is hard to listen to sometimes.
It's because you're not from Portland.
No, so back in the day, like when
you don't want to die.
No, in college, like I love. So here's the thing, I got really into Elliott Smith like really into Elliott Smith. I loved his music. I thought it was amazing. Like, it made me feel my emotions.
Made you feel something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I found out his end. Like, and
that's what makes it so tragic and beautiful. And melancholy, says the 4 over here.
It was so sad to me.
It's art. Even in his death, he was an artist.
Yeah.
Which is a little fucked up, to be
I
honest,
love his music. I love his albums. But sometimes the sadness is too much for me.
Yeah.
As a person who feels a lot. Like, I feel like I feel a lot.
He definitely met a tragic and horrible fate, and it was just sad. But...
Have you heard him do the Beatles cover? I love that song.
Yeah.
But that song is like... It's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, it's... Anyways.
Yeah, for sure. So his mom is a famous... her name is Autumn. I can't remember her last name right now. I'm having such a hard time. But her mom basically was famous for, like, doing a lot of photography with a lot of famous people. I'm going to look up her name because Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry.
What are you looking up?
Arrow DeWild. Okay, the lead singer of Starcrawler is Arrow DeWild. Her mom was Autumn DeWild, who is a famous photographer. Her dad is a drummer. He's been a drummer for like a bunch of different bands. So she comes from like very artistic folk. She was bred in art mostly, and she is just this skinny, like glam rocky, gritty, kind of just like metal rocky kind of little chick from LA.
Right.
I love her whole thing. It's awkward, it's quirky, it's strange. I love it. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go on YouTube. You can look up the YouTube video, I Love LA by Starcrawler. That's a really good example.
You sent that to me.
I did. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of what I've been listening to. And then podcasts, I've been listening to Down the Hill still, which is...
Hey, you guys need to pay attention to Lindsay right now because you have some time. You have some time from work. Your kids are home. You're going insane. Like, look at that little bird.
Oh,
hey, birdie.
So cute.
She.
Don't give me coronavirus.
Hi.
Oh, so cute.
I love sparrows. Look,
do I.
That's a boy.
And you know what's funny is that
that's
these
the male
guys,
sparrow.
like,
Look at them.
I know. Despite everything that's happening in the world, they're just like carrying on.
I love sparrows.
They're so
Look
cute.
how pretty they are.
They're eating this grass seed right by us. It's pretty great. Oh. They are really cute. You know what? Okay, this is what we're going to do next.
Uh-huh.
You and me.
Okay.
You want to know what we're going to do with our day?
Sure.
We're going to go to Home Depot. We're going to get a birdhouse and bird seed. And we're going to bird watch during this break.
Sure.
I'm not even kidding. Okay, anyway. I've been listening to Down the Hill, the Delphi murders. It is a really heavy podcast. It's true crime. It's about a murder of 2 little girls. It is hard to listen to. You have to take it in stride. Mm-hmm. And then up on my next to listen to, which I have not listened to yet, is the McMillions podcast. It's produced by HBO. Should be kind of interesting. It's about McDonald's and a bunch of different things legally. And then Living the Scheme, which is an anti-MLM podcast, because you all know how much I love those.
You love anti-MLM podcasts, or are you being sarcastic about how much you love MLMs?
No, I hate MLMs, but there's a whole slew of podcasts that are anti-MLM podcasts.
Okay.
So I love those. I don't love MLMs. I just love the anti-MLM
So there's
podcasts.
anti-MLM podcasts?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Completely...
And you showed me the anti-MLM YouTuber.
Yeah.
What is her name?
I don't remember.
Yeah. You just Google it.
Like The Dream. That's a really good anti-MLM podcast. It's just, I think people are starting to really wake up and realize what bullshit essential oils and Plexus and all of this other crap is.
So this is what pisses me off, is those MLMs prey upon people who are homeschooled, maybe?
They prey on homeschooling Christian moms
who might not have a strong foundation of critical thinking and like science education. And this is why I feel like my job as a science educator is so important.
Right.
Because I can tell my students, like, if somebody tells you there's a magical oil that is going to heal you from cancer or some shit.
And it comes from snakes. I'm just kidding.
Somebody's profiting from that.
Yeah.
And somebody is taking advantage, and there's somebody who is preying upon others in order for their personal gain. So
yeah, I mean, we can get into a whole MLM podcast, but like, I can't tell you the amount of times, like in a church setting or in a social setting of women, I've been approached like with, "Hey, hun, you should be your own boss," and I'm like, "You go fuck yourself."
How about a punch in your face? No, you're not going to do that.
Oh, I might. No, and you like at first you like nicely try to say, look, I don't want to buy what you're selling me. Thank you, but no. And then they just keep pushing. And then they keep pushing, and then they keep pushing it onto people you care about, and you're like, stop it.
They're opportunists.
I know. It's sad because you know some of these people,
and they're not bad
trying
people.
To, like, no, they're just misinformed, and they don't want to know like the actual like knowledge behind any of this. So it's very frustrating,
right?
And messed up. And please don't sell your MLMs at church. That is like not what you should be doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Rant over. Finish.
I agree with you. How about, so we went over music
and
podcasts. Is there anything else for you that you're listening to or enjoying right now? 60 minutes?
I watch old episodes of 48 Hours sometimes
okay,
when I'm folding laundry.
I have been really trying
like true crime.
to find a specific episode of a Cops.
Yeah.
It's sad, and I know that
This little guy, he's like fat and sassy over here.
Yeah, a little sparrow. I love sparrows. I'm just going to say it. I love sparrows.
I know.
They're amazing.
Just a fat and sassy little
Look
dude.
at him. He's, yeah. So when we were in Palm Springs, we were watching, I think it was Cops or PD Live or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a Cops episode.
It probably was. It was in the South somewhere. It was like.
It was in the South. Like maybe it was south of the Mason.
I feel like it was in Georgia. Like I
feel like it was Florida.
Could have been. Well, yeah. A lot of crappy things happen in Florida. So.
But anyway, like, so the cop pulled this lady over, and I think she was with a boyfriend or something, right?
That's what she called him. But.
And then the cop was dealing with the guy, and then
she like you hear a door slam.
And then the camera panned, and she's just like running.
This is not a small woman, by the way.
No.
She was a larger woman. She was hiking it down the sidewalk, just like booking that shit like she was being chased by a rhino, booking it. So they catch up to her, they tackle her to the ground, and like out of nowhere, she's like, "What'd I
do? The cop's like, "You ran."
It's the most ridiculous thing, and you're just like, it's so sad that I'm watching this, but it's also so sad that like this even happened.
And I think that she even read a second time, didn't she?
Yeah, she tried. What'd I do? It was just ridiculous. Like, you're like, this shit in no situation happened, and then the fact that they got it on camera was like too much.
I need to find that episode. Yeah. I need to find it.
Oh, it's so funny.
So, anyways, so what am I listening to? Let's find out. Hopefully I didn't stop the podcast from recording, and I didn't.
Good.
All right.
Good.
So I am listening to, well, I've been listening to for a while, Zoetic from the Rocket Summer. It's the Rocket Summer's.
It's just because we call you so.
Yeah, I guess so. It's his most recent album. It's a couple years old now. It's really good. Rituals by Def Havana. It sounds kind of contemporary Christian a little bit, but I feel like it's a little bit of an anti-contemporary Christian. I feel like this guy has some sort of like, and I don't know, but I feel like the lead singer, they're from England. I feel like he has been hurt by the church in some way or whatever, because there's a lot of religious references, but it sounds like it might be a little bit of anti. But yeah, I've been listening to that. I've been listening to By Yours Conditionally, which I think I mentioned last time, from Tennis.
Yeah.
I love this album so much. Like, upon first listen, it's one of those albums, like, you listen to it, and you're like, it's whatever. Like, I can give or take it. And that I think, is what's tragic with the music industry today. Because we have our streaming services, and if you listen to an album and you're like, I don't really like it, you have no connection to it. You have no reason.
Like, you have like no pull to listen
to
it again.
You have no reason to get back to it.
Yeah.
Right. But back in the day, like, if you bought a CD, which I've done a lot of times, I bought a CD, and like the first, second, third, fourth, fifth listen, like, I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. But then the sixth, something clicks, and you're like, I kind of like this.
You're committed to it.
I kind of like it. Right. Because you bought it, and if you spend $10 to $15 on a CD, like, you're gonna try to like find whatever it is you need to find in the CD.
Right.
Today, because of our streaming services, like, if you listen to them once and you don't like it, it's like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm moving on. But anyway, this tennis, like I gave it another chance.
This tennis.
This tennis album, it's good. I think they're married, maybe. I'm not sure. Like one of the songs, it sounds like it's a little bit romantic or whatever.
Ooh.
But yeah, been listening to that. I have been listening to the Front Bottoms, which is kind of a grungy sort of punk rock. Mm-hmm. They are touring, I believe, with Jimmy Eat World right now. Well, that's probably up in the air since coronavirus, but yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
What else have I been listening to?
There's
Mark.
Good Smells Again.
Yeah, John Mark McMillan, Peopled with Dreams, I think it's what it's called. Kamorbai from Slender Bodies. Is that the name of the album? Komorabi. Slender Bodies.
Love it.
It's been rainy in Albuquerque for the last week.
Yeah.
It's been a treat.
It's been a real treat.
But Slender Bodies is my go-to when it's rainy.
Yeah.
I listened to it when we were in Portland.
Slender Bodies is the shit. I love them.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They're really good.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
For sure.
MXPX, self-titled.
Because he's Lorenzo, and that's what he does.
It's me.
That's what he does here.
The Oh Hello's EP, they're one of those bands I discovered on the NPR Tiny Desk, and I really like them. I've been listening to Washed Out, just because I'm in that mood. Tycho has a new album that I'm gonna listen to, and I will talk about it more later, probably. Man, I've been listening to a lot of music.
I've been listening to Courtney Love a little bit, which is super weird for me.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I have no idea why. Like, I get in these moods where I'm like, I need some dingy ass Pacific Northwestern sound.
Sometimes
and then
that's what you need.
I listened to it for like 2 days straight, and then I'm like, okay, got my dose in, we're good.
Then you're good.
Yeah.
Now I can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney Love and Hole for like a couple days. That's probably because it's been raining. I bet you anything.
Right?
Yep.
So that's my music. Podcasts. I haven't really been listening to any podcasts. I have been listening to a book that I actually sent to my brother called The Road Back to You. It's by Ian Morgan Cron, co-written with Suzanne Stabile. Is that her name? Stabile?
Stable. Stabile. Stabile.
Yeah.
Stabile.
It's an Enneagram book, and it's really good. TV shows. We started this episode of this show. It's on Turner. It's not TM. Turner Moving Classics. AMC, and it's about parenting, and it's with the British guy from the original Office.
Yeah.
And holy shit! Like can I just say something real quick? Usually when we're watching shows, like I'm decompressing, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I can breathe.
Yeah.
This show.
I'm trying to find it.
This show was like bringing me back to parenting. It was like my kids were back awake. It brought me back to the chaos that is my parenting life. But
you were getting physically like bothered by that.
I was though, because like his personality was like your personality, and I think the wife was like my personality. But he was like so aggravated by his kids, and like they were going through all these problems, and like and holy shit, like nights are the worst, right?
I am grateful that none of our nights were like that bad, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to find it. Like, I don't.
What is that actor's name?
I don't know. No.
I think he was. He's the main guy from The Hobbit.
Is he?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know that, but yeah, it was just I'm seriously, this is gonna bother me now that I can't think of the name of this show.
So
that's gonna bother me.
So look up the British Office, and he's the British Office Jim, or I guess Jim would be the American from whatever, because the British Office was first.
Martin Freeman.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I knew that.
So click on his face.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
I like how you're like, you can just do this. I'm like, oh, you were right. I can do that. Okay, Martin Freeman, where you at? Movies and TV shows.
Told you he was in The Hobbit.
Hold on, I'm looking. It's not up yet. Let me just look up Martin Freeman.
This is the part of our podcast where we Google stuff.
Show. I know, this is so fun for people to listen to. They're Breeders. Oh my gosh.
Breeders.
Should have thought of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I literally was like, I can relate to everything you're talking about.
We're going to watch that again.
It was great.
And we're going to watch Westworld. And we're going to watch Ozarks.
You guys, we are stuck inside, like more or less, for a while. You have so much to do. Check it off your list.
Get it done.
Get it done.
All right.
Okay.
So, we're going to head out.
Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom really bad. I mean,
check out Sandra's stuff. We're going to link her. Mm-hmm. Check out Jeff Omidvaran's music. He's quarantined in California. He's making new music right now.
Send him a shout out if you can find him. Send him some fun stuff to do while he's stuck in California by himself. Alone.
Check out Ryan Freeman's books. That's Lindsay's brother.
You don't have to.
No, check him out.
All right. Okay.
Anyways, you guys have a great day, great Sunday. If you're quarantined and you want to talk to us, message us on Instagram, Twitter.
Tell us what it's like in your neck of the woods, because we're just coming from an Albuquerque's perspective, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.